Hey you guys, welcome back to the back nine of the Pro Tour Championships presented by Prodigy Discs. We are in a heated battle here with Lisa Fajkus, Paige Bjerkaas, me, and Rebecca Cox. Moving on to hole 10.
Yeah, hole 10 is 665 feet, par 4. There is an OB river in front of the tee. How far do you think that is? Like
300, I'd say.
300. Yeah, so our goal is just to get over that river. So all of us are probably just throwing max distance as shots, just trying to pump it out as far as we can.
There's a OB on the right side as well with the sidewalk, so you definitely want something that's going to hyzer out and not flip over. There's a little bit of a headwind here, kind of a scary shot, or a head cross. So when you're throwing max distance drives with that much out of bounds, you want to be able to trust what you're throwing.
Yeah, so just throwing out as far as we can is the goal on this one. It is a par 4. It's pretty hard to birdie. Like, it's doable.
It's two max distance shots.
Mm-hmm. So Lisa barely got over the OB, but she's fine. So
on our second shot, we also have to contend with a whole bunch of out of bounds. There's two sand bunkers and a green. The green is not like most golf courses. It is not out of bounds. They discourage us actually playing our lie on the green though, so we have a little blue pad that's our drop zone. If you land on the green, if you land in the traps, you play from that spot, but it's also not out of bounds.
Oh, really?
I believe. Yes.
So Rebecca lands on the green, but she's not out of bounds. But there is a hill in front of the basket, and so I try to go around the hill. I don't want to have to worry about getting it high or anything. I'm just trying to S it, again, as far as I can to the basket, and I came up short, super short, so it's a pretty long hole. Madison had the furthest drive of the group. And has a great upshot. And that was like hyzer the whole way, wasn't it?
Yeah, accidentally threw hyzer the whole way. The out of bounds is pretty close to the basket on the right-hand side. You definitely want something that's going to be hyzering and not skipping right.
Mm-hmm.
Lisa throws a little pitch up shot. She'll save her par, no problem.
Yeah, Rebecca's throwing from the designated drop zone for landing on the green, and it's just a putter up shot as you just saw, so she'll have an easy par.
No stroke penalty, which is nice. I appreciate that in the course design.
Mm-hmm. So I have a jumper.
Ooh!
Yeah, look good. Just hyzer out a little
good.
early. But I'm happy with the par. I have a downhill circle 2 putt. Dead center. Nice.
That was a really awesome birdie. I was not expecting that at all. Putt kind of turned on today. Very fun. At this point, we had a really nice gallery walking around with us. Everyone was cheering. Everyone was really excited. So we were having a lot of fun at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Really enjoying the level of competition.
It's nice that this round doesn't matter for the next round, really.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So there's a lot less pressure, I think, and the fact that we're all like, we're going to cash anyway, I think also helps us mentally. Like, oh, well, if we don't play
especially at the end of the season. So
Yeah.
that's huge to take a little bit of mental pressure off of making money going into the off season.
Mm-hmm. So good bird from Madison and pars from the rest of us. I'm sure you were the only birdie. I don't imagine there would be another birdie on that hole. But very well played. So we move on to hole 11, 286 feet. Another short one, but very technical.
Very tight fairway. This is the type of fairway that I always joke that I wouldn't want to turn my back to, but I have to right now because no forehands allowed. But it's very hard. It's a I would say a mid-range or a putter shot, a turnover. I think you threw a mid-range there.
I actually threw a fairway.
Fairway. Okay. So did I. It's only 286 feet, but because of the low ceiling and the tight gap, I feel like it plays a lot farther than that.
Yeah, and like I threw low, Lisa threw low. Like it's easy to throw low, even though it doesn't look like there's really that much of a ceiling. There really is.
Also, it's a little bit of a smarter play on these super tight wooded fairways, like we learned at Jackson last week at the Hall of Fame. the higher you throw it, the more it will kick into the woods when you hit a tree on the edge.
Absolutely.
So you want to keep it low so it doesn't kick super far off the fairway, leaving you with a really tough approach to the basket.
Yeah, so none of us really pured that shot. And that's one I think we all want to get because it is so short.
It is gettable too.
But this looks like we're all just pitching up for our pars. Lisa's running this one.
Yeah, she ran it hard. That keen wall is out of bounds behind the basket, so it was a little nervy to see that one sail past.
You have a nice jumper.
Nice awkward jumper.
Yeah, so I'm also laying up. Again, we have that sand wood box thing, so we're just landing against it. We should be fine.
The old sandwood box.
Yeah. Wood sand box, whatever.
Lisa has a kind of a long approach or a putt to save her par. She hits off the cage and she'll have to take a bogey on this hole. Everyone else will just be tapping in for their pars.
Again, pars aren't bad, but on a hole like this, we really like to take advantage of like the shorter holes. Yep, so Rebecca and I are just tapping in.
So it's, even though they keep lining up the total points here for our card, it's a little weird because there's that whole nother card that we're having to worry about and wonder what they're doing, and only the top 4 scores move on. So for some relevancy's sake, it's still hard to know what's going on the other card. This is another low ceiling par 3. There's OB on the left-hand side with that sidewalk, and you want to throw something that's not going to flip or hyzer out.
Yeah.
The perfect straight shot, basically.
Yeah, and I threw something flippy, and I guess there was a tailwind, and just didn't quite flip up the way I wanted to. So I was pretty upset about this shot, actually.
There definitely was a little bit of a tailwind.
I didn't even notice it.
Yeah, it was really light, but once you got out away from the tee pad's a little bit blocked by some trees. Once you get out away from it, you can feel it a little bit more. Rebecca throws a really great flexi shot that skips a little bit, but she'll be up there to tap in her par. This is a hole that's really tough to get to for the ladies. 400 feet is basically a max distance drive for us. So you can see Lisa really tries to pump her forehand as hard as she could, and she had been complaining all day about rolling her wrist. Exactly what she did right there.
So she'll have a pretty far up shot for her bogey, but she does okay.
Yep. Great hyzer. Flirts with the woods just like you want to, but hyzers out just in time.
Throwing a skippy up shot, right into circle 1.
Yeah, this is kind of a boring tweener hole for the ladies. Even with the perfect drive, you're not really going to have a birdie putt.
Absolutely. You might have like a long jumper, but... Yep, so just trying to throw a jump putt up shot just to get it under the basket. Again, pretty upset with the bogey, but it's fine. Madison has a...
About 20 feet.
Dead center. Your putts are all dead center.
Yeah, I was having a good day on the green, finally. After Hall of Fame, you feel a little bit helpless, like at throwing your drives. Even if you land in a good spot, you don't have anything, and so all you really can work on is your putt. So I did a lot of work on my putt last week.
All preparation for this event.
Oh, yeah.
Lisa with the great putt, as always. That'll be for her bogey. I also am tapping in for bogey, and Rebecca will have an easy tap in for her par.
So this hole and the next one are both par 3s that are kind of, you want to at least come out even on these two, so it doesn't feel good to get bogeys on these shorter holes. But, you know, par for the course, it's going to happen out there, and now we can feel the wind a little bit better and hopefully repair some of our mistakes from the last hole.
Hole 13, 382 feet. Also another par 3 with a low ceiling and OB on the left side. That car putt does come into play. And Madison, stay safe.
I go over the top of the branch. That was not the plan. I was trying to go underneath with a hyzer flip, and I just shanked and got very lucky, so that was cool.
Yeah, a lot of us are probably throwing something flippy and low, and so the mistake is probably going to be turning it over.
Into the woods.
Mm-hmm.
Paige annihilates this drive, pops it super hard on a hyzer, and it gets way down there. But still, she's only to circle 2. The low ceiling makes it so hard to get any sort of distance.
Absolutely.
Even on a 380-foot hole, we're not going to have a lot of birdie putt opportunities here.
Lisa hits the branch. She'll have a wide open upshot though, so saving par is definitely doable.
At this point in the round, a lot of players would get upset and start being mad at themselves. I mean, she's 6 over par. It's totally not her best game or even close to it. Lisa could easily shoot under par on this course, and she was still staying so positive. It was so awesome to play with her, even while she's having a rough time.
Definitely one of my favorite people to play with.
Mm-hmm.
We had such a fun card, such a good card.
You can see the wind kind of picking up here, definitely feeling it more as we get further away from the woods.
Mm-hmm.
It makes it a lot harder to run at those long putts and be reliable.
Mm-hmm. Circle 2 jumper.
With a lucky super long drive, I still am at circle 2. So this hole is tough.
Yes, Lisa has a pretty long tester for her par.
Boom!
Dead center. It's easy for Lisa.
She's out there pointing at the crowd. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Becca has a kind of a tester for her par.
Yeah. The way that she shows the underside of her disc in the wind is a little bit, it seems like it would be a little bit scary to putt in any sort of wind.
Yeah, it looked like it was a tailwind looking at her hair, and it didn't drop. So I think maybe she aimed higher because she thought it would drop.
Yeah, well, she kind of puts nose down, so like the tailwind would see the underside of the disc. Maybe, maybe raise it a little bit. She has a very unique putting form, but man, does it work.
Yeah, it does.
It does really well. She hits long putts a lot.
Your putt was way better than that.
It's pretty close. We're all close, but again, like there is that second card, so we're all not really sure.
Most of the people on our card don't really check the live score,
I
so
didn't.
none of us had any idea where we were sitting. We just try to take each hole as they come. This hole is like a lot of the holes on the course. There's OB all the way down one side of the fairway. It's a par 5. The sidewalk goes the whole way, and the basket is parked really close to the sidewalk all the way down there. There's woods on the left. You don't really want to tangle with those. Paige hyzers out a little bit.
I just early released it. My hands were it's so hot and muggy out there, and like that sand isn't dry around the tee pad. It's like
You can't really use it to dry your hands off.
yeah.
Yeah, at this point it was probably like 88 and 80% humidity.
Yeah, it was rough.
It was very rough.
But yeah, we're just trying to throw again maybe something flat and have it hyzer. Really not trying to S it just in case you don't want to turn it over into the OB.
Yeah, the best play here is to trust your hyzer out over the OB and let it finish into the middle of the fairway. It's a little bit scary, but that's definitely the best play for max distance.
Mm-hmm. And this is a gettable par 4 or par 5 actually. If you throw like decent shots and you can throw a pretty accurate upshot.
Mm-hmm.
Our upshots might be mid ranges or putters or maybe fairways. It's definitely birdieable.
I mean, if you throw 220 on every shot, you can get a birdie.
Mm-hmm. Lisa with a nice hyzer flip up. Perfect right in the middle. So I have to throw a putter out of the woods. I'm doing like a forehand flick shot and just trying to get. I threw a putter because I knew it wouldn't like fade out OB, but I lost some distance, so I kind of had to choose there what I wanted to do.
I think that was a smart play.
Mm-hmm. Madison with the furthest drive again.
I wanted to put this out over the out of bounds and let it finish a little bit more towards the middle, but I was scared.
Yeah.
There's a lot of carts over on the right-hand side, too. It's really cool having a bunch of spectators on carts and walking.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to throw as far as I can, get myself hopefully able to save a par.
Paige is not scared of throwing over the out of bounds. She really flirts with that bunker, but lands just inside, which is where you want to be, right where the basket is.
Yeah, so I'll have a long look at birdie. Becca's throwing her third shot. As you can see, it's wide open. Ooh. She pulls it a little right.
Looking for the skip. Doesn't quite get there, but she is pin high. Such a crush.
Yeah. Lisa's third shot. Almost perfect. And there you go. She stayed inbound. She didn't throw super far each time, and she has a pretty easy birdie putt.
This is a Firebird. I wanted to put it out wide and trust it to come back. I actually threw it straight at the basket, and I skipped and landed outside of circle 1 for my birdie putt.
So unfortunately, Rebecca crossed pretty far back, so she'll have kind of a longer shot for her 5th shot.
I love her little one-step approach
I
shot.
know.
It's my fave. She puts it right in the basket.
I can't do 1-steps.
And me neither. It doesn't make any sense to me. She makes it look super easy and smooth.
Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to give it a birdie run, and yeah, wasn't that great, but
Nice layup. That's probably what I'm yelling at you from across the room.
But I'm stoked to be able to save par from being in the woods. So you have a long look for birdie. Ooh. First putt I've seen you miss all day, actually.
I almost ran that one in. I'm not gonna lie.
But if you did, it would have gotten a little bit of extra height. Would have nailed it.
Pushed it a little.
Lisa, textbook birdie.
Saving it. That was such an awesome birdie from her. I know that felt good after she's had kind of a rough round.
Yeah, and like you can notice, like the top pros can turn it around like that. Just because we have bad holes, we're able to continue to the next one and try to do our best.
Separate it from the rest of the holes.
Mm-hmm.
So right after that very long par 5, we move on to the shortest hole on the course.
Hit hole 15, and it is an island.
A double Mando Island.
Oh yeah.
Very scary shot. It's a little putter shot from the tee. Although I think Lisa here parks it with a rock X3, just absolutely shreds it.
Yeah, and does a standstill.
Mm-hmm. Full flex.
Madison throwing a putter.
Yeah, I've been working on my putter drives with some help from Paige.
It's all you. She parked it. Great shot.
Paige also throws a putter. Gets some skippies, but she's still inside the circle.
Mm-hmm. Looks like Rebecca's throwing her compass, I believe. So a fair or mid-range. She almost ace runs it.
Yeah, from the tee, it looked like it was going in.
Mm-hmm. So she'll have close to circle's edge putt for 2.
There's lots of space on this island, so it as long as you can get through that Mando, it's not that hard. You just kind of have to throw something controlled and straight. Rebecca running at it, maybe lost a little bit of focus on the putting green after that 3-putt earlier in the round.
Yeah, honestly, like we want the 2, but because the island is so big, you can have the air reserve like thrown too far and have a longer putt. So par, obviously you want to get a 2 because it's so short, but pars aren't bad.
No,
People
not
are
at
probably going to miss the island.
Totally.
She has a little tester back. Perfect.
Yeah. So you can see Lisa pumping her up in the background. It was so awesome to see her make that huge putt, huge comebacker. We're all psyched.
Yeah, she ain't 3-putting this time.
Not today.
Birdie putt. Oh.
So dramatic.
Little left side, but probably should have, like one of those.
I wanted it to. I don't know if it should have or if I just really wanted it to.
Yeah,
But
especially after a good putter shot, but.
I'll take my par.
Yeah. It's good to be able to, you felt confident enough to try that shot during a tournament round, so.
It was just exciting that I threw a putter off the tee and did what I wanted it to. Super cool.
Mhm.
Paige and Lisa with the nice birdies, moving on to the last couple holes. Hole 17 is 265 feet. It's another super tight gap off the fairway, and then that just kind of continues down the whole fairway. Very tight, very technical. You want to throw kind of something that turns over and fades a little bit at the very end.
Yeah, I'm trying to throw a flippy putter, and it just hits a tree. And I was frustrated because during practice I couldn't hit this gap.
It is so tight. It's really difficult to make the disc fly like that, especially if you don't hit the initial gap.
Look on your face. That string you see, I think it's not related to disc golf. It's for the cart path.
Yeah, they're trying to get carts not to off-road down this fairway, which is understandable, I guess.
So Madison's fine. She got a good roll. She should have maybe a gap. Did you have a gap?
Yep, I landed back out in the fairway. It's a little bit tucked to those trees, so it makes the backhand tough, but I have to hope that something's going to flip. It does not. It gets a little tree kick to the left. I'll be outside the circle for a par save. I watched a couple men's cards play this hole as well. They have the same tee pad. I didn't see anyone get through these gaps. It is so
Really?
tough. Yeah, I did not watch anyone get through. Nobody had a birdie on this hole from the 2 cards I watched, and 3 including ours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'm just trying to flick a putter up shot. Again, I throw it low like I did on that, hole, whatever that was. But I'm inside the circle. And Rebecca has a good, easy up and down. I think she'll be getting a par. Lisa's running this.
She gets way down there. She goes at it super hard. It was a little bit awkward. She kind of had to hyzer putt around a tree. You can tell it kind of hyzered around the basket as well. I have to take a straddle from outside the circle.
Ooh, oh yeah, I forgot you made that one.
Yeah,
nice.
the ugliest par in all the land. Off the fairway. Circle 2.
Easy.
I think I made more circle 2 putts in this round than I did my entire season. It's really awesome.
Drama queen.
I know. Paige from inside the circle to save par. Boom, no problem.
A little high, but
It
center,
works.
so it works. Mm-hmm.
Paige putts very flat, and so those high putts are always want to catch because it just drops them straight down in.
Almost put it in. That's like a weird miss from Lisa because that's
Yeah.
inside the circle.
She ran at it so hard from her kind of awkward stance.
Mm-hmm. Rebecca, good putt. Easy
Confidence
par.
back on the green. Love that.
Yep, so Lisa's tapping in her bogey. All right, that's through 16 holes.
Still, the race is pretty tight. Lisa's having a rough round. Rebecca had some putting woes, but still everyone's scoring about the same, besides those a couple bad holes. Hole 17 is a very tough shot. You can either lay up to the right or be aggressive and go for it like Paige is here. She lands a little bit short of the, is it considered an island?
Yeah.
The green is a large island. There's OB Creek short where Paige landed. There's OB to the right, and then the OB wall goes all the way around the backside. I want to go for it as well. I know I can reach it. Throw something a little bit too flexy, and it doesn't quite make it back, just barely out of bounds.
Yeah, mine hyzered out early and yours turned too quick, so.
We need the middle ground.
I know. And there is a safe play, and that's you can pretty much lay up straight to where Rebecca's going, and it's a pretty easy shot to the basket, another like mid-range putter shot. And it is surprisingly a par 3, even though none of us are getting there in 1-1. But that's definitely the safe play to go. And even if you execute our shots, really it's just an easier upshot that we're trying to get.
Totally.
We're not looking at twos.
The way we looked at it was, we can reach it, and the pitch up is still even kind of tough. And if you might go out of bounds on the pitch up, you might as well just go out of bounds on your drive instead.
Yeah, because there is OB left to the basket.
You can see where they pitched up. You pretty much take a hard left turn to the basket. It's not really a. Oh.
Yeah, and Lisa, and that's what you were saying. Lisa went OB on her second shot. But Rebecca has a nice hyzer shot, and
Perfect.
yeah, textbook.
Yeah, it's not a very easy angle to the basket. You'd have to be able to throw it about 400 to get it to turn as hard left as you need it to go to even get close to the green off the tee.
Madison with another putter up shot.
Ooh, fancy.
Fancy, right next to the basket.
I don't need my forehand rhino.
Lisa's going for it, and this is a little left. This is me to putt for bogey. Oh, I was so salty. There were like a little bit of like twigs like in my reach down to up, and yeah.
I was so salty.
Yeah. Double bogey on a hole, not stoked.
Lisa with a huge save for bogey. She still stays confident on the green. Like I said, I admire that so much.
Nice bogey save. Should have been a par, I think, but.
Yeah, that's definitely a really weird par for this hole. Three is really tough.
See, Rebecca has a par putt. Oh,
Wow.
little high and right.
I didn't realize that it looked like that. Kind of got a kick right. She was like basically our saving grace on the card to show us that par is possible.
Psych.
Psych.
Joke's on us. But she did the best she could. I mean, she had, the putt could have been better, but it also could have stuck.
It's
so.
very weird on this feature card to see all of us taking bogeys and double bogeys on a hole. So kind of weird, kind of interesting. Moving on.
Last hole, hole 18, super hard hole.
Yep,
really
par
weird.
5. Ended out on a par 5.
Yeah, so as you can see, there's like a gap that you want to hit, which Madison did not make. But as you see straight, there is a sand bunker and there is a green. But most of us, I think, are trying to hyzer out left because our next shot is into a tunnel. The weird Mando. It's kind of funky. You have to see it.
So this is like on a corner of the property where there's a green in the way, and so the way the designers made it, they tried to set up a couple of Mandos to kind of force us to go around the green instead of cutting over the top of it. It's kind of making do with what property you have, so it's a little bit weird and kind of forces you in a direction that doesn't seem very natural, but it's nice because it's kind of a placement par 5. You don't necessarily have to have huge distance. You can just place your shots smartly, like we watched Lisa do right here. Mm-hmm. Lisa and Paige both place their shots very well. This is my second shot, trying to get around that Mando tree. I play aggressive, hit the Mando tree, land safe in the fairway, around where Lisa and Paige landed their first drives.
Yeah, so fortunate kick, and let's see, Lisa has a pretty wide open up shot.
You can see that green that they're kind of forcing us to go around instead of over the top.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking my third shot here where everyone else's drives land.
And if you watch her shot, can you see the Mando tree? Where is it?
Right where my disc lands, there's a Mando tree. Oh, you can see it to the right of the
flagpole.
Yeah, mm-hmm. there's a hose moving up the tree that kind of signifies that it's a Mando tree. I land my disc just short of it and to the almost a little bit to the right, but not quite to the Mando.
Yeah, and Rebecca's turned it over. I don't think she crossed the Mando though. I think she's fine. I think she's short of it.
The Mando tree again is right in line with that flag, so she's right of it, but like I said, we can't quite reach it.
Mm-hmm.
Paige can where she lands her drive, but she plays smart and kind of hyzers, so she doesn't even have to worry about turning over her drive anywhere near the Mando tree.
Yeah, I wanted it to flip up a little straighter because there is a pretty nice tunnel to let you have like an easy wide open up shot. Not necessarily wide open, but a straight up shot. And I hyzered out a little left, but I'm in a decent position.
Lisa's way left of the Mando tree. She's on the other side of the fairway in the woods, and she's just trying to get out of the woods at this point to set her fourth shot up to the green.
Yeah. Looks like she'll have a decent look at par. So Rebecca hasn't missed the Mando, so she's throwing her putter.
She was way right of it. That rope right there that you see is another thing to make carts not go through that area. I'm throwing around the Mando tree as well, just like Rebecca did. A little bit more aggressive and a little bit closer, and we'll both have looks to approach to the green from where we are.
Mm-hmm.
The green is back by that building. You can kind of see the flag to the right of the PDGA banner.
Yeah, and there's a green short, or there's a bunker that's short of the basket that comes into play.
That is not out of bounds.
Mm-hmm. Oddly enough. So I was kind of upset where my lie was, so I'm like, oh my gosh, just get a par. So I threw some understable flick kind of high, trying to get to the basket. And I came up short, but...
Such a good shot, though, for a standstill flick. That's awesome.
So Lisa's a pretty easy upshot to get there for her par, looks like.
Trying to get on the green.
Mm-hmm.
There's out of bounds all around the green. The parking lot where that man is walking is a sidewalk that's out of bounds.
Not the greatest shot from Madison.
This was supposed to be a jump putt and a throw, and I mixed them up and just threw one of the worst shots of my life.
Yeah, it looks like you didn't commit to one or the other.
Yeah.
It
was a mental error, for sure. And also a physical error.
So unfortunately, the out of bounds, we're putting for a 7. Mm-hmm. Miss right. That's unfortunate. Just
Rebecca made a joke during the round. Even in Florida, we can find some snowmen.
Oh my god.
We both got 8s during the round. But we're all happy to be done. That's such a long course. It's really hot out there. Paige ends out super strong with a par. Super awesome on that long hole, kind of technical hole. And we're all excited to have tap-ins here.
Absolutely. Long course. So we're excited to be done. Relax our bodies.
A scooter rider in the background.
That's what the easy 8.
Yep. Oh, look, those numbers just add really fast. And yep, there's my 8. I'm happy to be done. No, it did not go slow motion.
Rebecca top in bogey.
And all in the end, Paige jumps me to take the lead on the round. Overall, Paige, me, Rebecca, and Ellen Woodboom from the other card will jump up and be the ones to play in the semifinal round. Thank you guys for tuning in. We enjoyed having you. Thanks to the Pro Tour for the footage and to Prodigy Disc for the footage as well. My name is Madison Walker.
My name's Paige Bjerkaas, and thank you very much.
Yeah!